Hello, my fellow NSC comrades. Right, first of all, before I talk about anything else, can I just assure you that this video isn't part of another one of my grind ideas. And thank God it isn't, because seriously, over the past year, I found that sadly, every time I bring up an idea of mine to good use, I always end up making a massive big head of myself and forcing everyone to play along with what I say or try to do. So anyway, I guess we need to have a bit of a big long talk about what has gone on since September. Mainly, what has happened with your dear resident radio disc jockey. First of all, I am aware that we are now nearing the end of June, and that means, unfortunately, I only have another 3.5 weeks left at Star. So, I want to take this opportunity to once again talk to you all about the issues I have faced over the last few months. You'll probably have gathered by now that, tragically enough, my downturn had to begin on my 21st birthday. So, in a way, it was not one of the best birthdays ever. In the next few weeks that followed, even though I had just started a YouTube career, which would eventually become one of the best things I'd ever done with my life, I slowly started to feel like everything was being taken away from me. I guess everything really started to go downhill before Christmas, when I was urged to try to save Radio Club, and I can reveal that me trying to save Radio Club was the trigger behind all the emailing sending. Again, despite me trying everything I can think of, I still could not save the club that I had allegedly used to run. It wasn't until the first half of this year when my behaviour increasingly began to worsen, and things were so bad that I had to be put back onto the talk-to roster. The emails became more and more common and to some people annoying. People were getting increasingly frustrated with my actions, and in fact things were so bad that I nearly dropped out of the current Every Month Theatre production because I was that dissatisfied with college life. By this time, I felt like I was never going to be able to enjoy my third year here, unless I actually did something about it. So, when I made the decision to quit Radio Club, and when I actually did quit Radio Club, I suddenly felt a lot happier with life. So, now I have 3 weeks left here, and then I'm going to Gloucester College in September, and in August, I shall be moving to Foundation House. So, the future is bright. But yeah, it's safe to say that this year has been very hard. Having said that, I feel like I could have easily gone down the same route that likes of Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus went down. But thankfully, this hasn't happened. As some of you may know, I have recently been absent from some of the student meetings, so I could just hide and get on with some of my coursework, which desperately needed doing. However, I decided to make an exception and come to the G meeting last week just because it was my last one. Before it, I was thinking, right, am I or am I not going to say anything? Miraculously, I managed to behave myself all the way through. One of the agenda items of the meeting was finding out what students felt they had achieved. Obviously, I didn't say anything, but my honest answer would have been, I managed to make it to the Everyman Tour without A, killing myself or anyone, B, turning up in rehab, or 3, turning to heavy drinking or smoking, or whatever else that's not good for your body. Although I've always found myself with a slight addiction to Diet Cokes, and this year more than ever, I kept turning up to lectures with a can of Diet Coke in hand. You'll be glad to know that the cans were always full and closed, and I waited until lunchtime to happen. I also would have said the same thing, but I managed to say it in the coursework meeting a couple of weeks ago, before I retreated back to the coach house. The thing is, guys, I thought I was going to stick it out in Radio Club for the full 3 years, but obviously this has not happened, due to the lack of interest in students. Now, I understand that a lot of the Upside students just like to go back to Overton and Lizzie on Fridays, and many of the ones who currently live on main site may or may not have their own desired choices of activity on a Friday night as well. But remember, this is coming from a poor third year male student who's naturally not very sociable and a bit rubbish with women and has had to make more of an effort to socialise even harder. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm being harsh, but the whole message I've been trying to send via my emails and stage animations and things is that sometimes it wouldn't hurt you to have a bit of a change in your weekly routine. Not only would it give you a change of scenery, but it would make someone like me, who's felt very lonely all year, well, just about a little bit less lonelier. And also, there's a chance my erratic behaviour would not have happened in the first place. I hope that all fellow future students will take this message on board, as well as those students who are staying on next year for their second or third years. A couple of weeks ago, I made another major boob when I did some filming for the documentary about NSC that Minnow Films are making, where I wanted to talk about the wrong thing as usual. While I'm obviously very sorry about this, I just felt that saying on British television would finally help me get the message across to the students. Sadly, this, like all my other ideas, did not work, but it's a relief my family aren't regular BBC Three viewers.